Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I'm Methodical Destruction, and we will be continuing by exploring a bit more of Petalburg and then heading up to Schwank Fortress. This is technically part 2 of part 3. I know that's a little confusing, but this next part is a little bit longer, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. So now we are at the gate, and we cannot actually pass through there until we've talked to the village elder. So let's go talk to him. Also, I think you can get this now. Yep, you can. There's a turtley leaf in one of those bushes. It's, I think it's random every time. I may be wrong, but, just look through all 3 and you should find one. Yeah, we've heard the name. We probably know who he is. Wait, what? We have to kill this thing? I didn't say that, but okay. The name is Mario, dude. The mayor is so hilarious. But now we have access to the area leading up to Schwank Fortress. Oh, well, now this is a good opportunity to tell you about an email. Well, actually, this text box is doing a good job of explaining emails. I'll just use the shortcut, thank you. And when you open up the Mailbox SP, the first email you get is one that you have from the beginning of the game, I believe. But you're never notified of this one. It's from Professor Frankly. And he tells you a bit of information, just kind of to show you what an email can do. And here's a picture of Professor Frankly. And you see that little piece of information in the trash can. Well, that will become important later, but let's not talk about that now. And if you read this email, it tells you that Professor Frankly has registered you for the Rogueport Daily Mail. And this is a little newsletter that you get at various points throughout the game that will tell you just kind of fun little news stories. It's nothing required, but it's fun to read them, so without further ado, let's go through this gate here. So we'll want to be careful when going through here, because there are a lot of enemies. Oh, it's Koops. What's wrong with him? Well, anyway, let's continue. Let's ignore that Koops for now. It doesn't seem to be anything important. Here's another star piece. I actually forgot that was a star piece, but yep, there it is. And let's hit this tree, and check this bush, and check this bush, and hit this tree, and so on and so forth, until we have exhausted all the places. Oh, actually, wait, I'm not gonna cut. This is actually a new enemy. This is a Koopa, and let's tattle on it. So yeah, basically with Koopas, you just need to jump on their head, and that will do a good amount of damage to them. And once they're on their shell, then they can't actually attack. They will get up though, so don't think that that lasts forever. But a good strategy is if you're fighting multiple Koopas, is instead of having both partners attack the Koopa, have one attack on one Koopa and then another attack on another, and that way they can't hurt you as much. So let's keep checking these bushes. Isn't this fun? Oh, oops. And, oh wow, we actually got a badge. In that battle, the Goomba was actually holding that badge, and usually you won't get a badge if an enemy holds it, because enemies can hold badges too. But there is a way to get badges from enemies later in the game, but for right now, that is not possible. So let's keep hitting things. And we're actually going to be entering another area soon. Okay, sorry about that, but anyway, we are close to a new area right now, which we will be entering in just a minute. This POW block is definitely something you want to pick up. I think there might be a secret here. Nope. But yeah, pick up the POW block because there's a battle coming up in this area here, and you will definitely want to use it. But anyway, as you can see, we can't actually go through. Oh, wow, I actually didn't realize there was a message for when you lifted the door. But anyway, what you have to do is you have to approach either pedestal, doesn't matter, and press A, and it will cause these rock things to come alive, basically. Don't try to hammer them, just enter battle like normal. And basically, these things have really good HP. I don't know, they don't have good HP, they have good defense. And it is actually impossible to hit them with your regular hammer move. And yeah, fire obviously doesn't hurt it, but we got a POW block earlier, which we can use to hurt it. But one thing you can also do is that... Oh, we have an item coming at us. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to explain. Audience members will sometimes throw stuff at you. It can be good or bad. If it's an item, you don't want to press X. Just wait and you'll get the item. They'll throw it at you. But if it's bad, press X and you'll get rid of that audience member and it'll go away. But what you can do is, if you don't want to use your POW block, you can actually use Power Smash to hurt them instead. And that will take them out in one hit. Oops. You can also Super Guard against these guys. So if you don't have a POW block or enough FP for Power Smash, you can do that. But I prefer to use Power Smash because there is actually another set of enemies coming up soon. Oh nice, just got all the stylish moves. There's another set of enemies coming up that will actually not be damaged by Power Smash, so if you have Power Smash equipped, I would use that versus using the POW block, so just keep that in mind. But now we are at the next area, and I think there's Paracoopas here somewhere, so when we get to those, I'll make sure to include that fight. Alright, so we took care of that Koopa. Let's just hammer and check everything just to be safe, because I don't remember what I checked. And later in the game, there are more interesting areas. This one is, like I said before, it's a bit monotonous. Like, this area doesn't look much different from the last one, except that it looks a bit older. But here's a Paragoomba here, so let's fight that now. Or not. Let's try to get it in a good position. Okay, go. Okay, so we got rid of that Paragoomba. And we actually get another POW block, which we'll actually be using later. We got the coin, and now let's go through. Now this is the second set of enemies, and I believe these are called Bristles. And same as with the Bald Clefs anyway, you just approach the pedestal, press A, and they will come down and just run into them and you will fight them. Now, the difference between these and the Bald Clefs is that you cannot hammer these enemies. Because as you can see, they have giant spikes on their sides, and so if you try to hammer them, it will actually hurt you instead. That's one thing that I like they changed about this game from Paper Mario, is that there was never actually any enemy that could hurt you if you hammered them in the original game, but in this one they can. So what you're going to want to do is, you have to use a POW block. Unless you know how to Super Guard, this is the only way you can kill them. I know how to Super Guard, but the POW block is well worth the usage here. And that takes him out really quickly, and we are done with that. And again, the door opens up, and we can go through to the third and final area leading up to Schwank Fortress. And also one thing to note is that as we continue, that the area kind of looks a bit wilder than it did before. The grass is a bit overgrown and all that stuff. Let's jump on this Koopa, or not. Alright, took care of that. And we have a Paragoomba up here, which we'll be dealing with in a second. And here you can get an inn coupon. And what an inn coupon does is that if you go to an inn, you can actually stay for free. Save these. Don't use them in Rogueport, because it's not worth it. But anyway, let's fight this Goomba. Jeez, why am I missing so much? Oh yeah, I'll actually mention this now because I just did it. If you hammer a flying enemy on the field, you can actually use your hammer to fight with it. Just thought I'd mention that, but anyway, let's get out of this battle now. Alright, and now we've taken care of that, so now there is a healing block here. If you're low on HP, use it. I rarely use those things when I play the Thousand Year Door now because of how good I am at the game. So we're not going to be using it. And what we have here is a Thwomp, and I'm not going to spoil what happens when you fight it, but there are two things that you can do. What I want to do is I want to show both things that can happen. So I'm going to save quickly. And we're going to do it the right way first and the wrong way second, because even though it doesn't sound like you want to actually do it the wrong way, there is incentive to do it the wrong way. So let's just talk to him now. And as you can kind of see, basically Mario is in kind of a game show where the Thwomp will answer questions. Actually, one thing I like about this is that he says it's the 65th Super Fun Quirk Quiz, which is kind of like the 64th quiz thing that Quizmo from Paper Mario mentions. So, yeah, basically, as he says, if you lose, you face punishment. But no big deal. Also, there's no time limit, even though this music kind of threatens that there's a time limit. And there is stone keys hidden in this palace. Yes, that's my real answer. So yeah, that's an easy question. As long as you paid attention to the dialogue, you should be able to guess that one. Now, I can understand why someone would not know this, but since I'm a super geek and I've played this game 11 times, I know for a fact the answer is 16 coins. Yes. This is also another easy one. This is probably the easiest one. But as long as you were paying attention, you should know that his name is Mayor Kroop. This is also an easy one. I don't know why they would ask you the Fire Flower and Mr. Softener question, but I think it's pretty obvious that the Crystal Star is in Hooktail Castle. This is also another easy one, because if you recall, we got here by going through a pipe, so that is obviously the correct answer. So, that's all the questions. And it's really easy. I mean, you know, there are more questions that he'll ask if you get some wrong. If you get 2 questions wrong, he has 2 more questions he'll ask you. I actually don't remember what they are because it's been so long since I've done them. But actually, you know what? When I do it the wrong way, I'll show off what those questions are, but I'm not going to answer them correctly. So anyway, after you do it, you can go down that pipe. But I'll be cutting back in just a second to what happens when you get the answers wrong. So see you in a bit. Okay, so now we're back, and this is the 6th question. He says, which of these creatures has hands? And this is really easy. It's obviously Koopa Troopas. And we will not be answering Koopa Troopa. Actually, yes, we will be answering Koopa Troopas. So once you get the 5th one right, normally that would be, you would have them all correct and you could still pass. So now you're asked, what question number is this? And we're going to get this wrong because we want the punishment. So even though the correct answer is question 7, we're going to say it's super question 64. Yes. And now, for being morons, we will get punished in the possibly best way, because, as you'll see in a second, all he does is actually sick some enemies on us. And the thing I find interesting about this is that, well, actually, he says right now that if you beat these guys, he'll let you pass, which is kind of funny. So this is your punishment. You have to fight these guys. And the interesting thing is that if you tattle on these guys, it actually spoils what the next area is. As you'll see in a second. Because if you look, it says the area where they originate from is Bogley Woods. And the Bogley Woods is the next area in the game. The next major area, anyway. And there's someone actually throwing a good item at us. That's a Sleepy Sheep. And Sleepy Sheep will put enemies to sleep. It doesn't always work, but it's worth a try. And since we saved that POW block earlier, we can simply use the POW block right now, and that will take care of them all in one fell swoop. And it gives us a good amount of experience, too. That's 25, I believe. And we also level up again. So that's well. So I would actually do that. If you're able to save a POW block, then fail the trivia and fight these guys, because it'll give you a good experience. So I'd recommend that. And we're raising our BP, so now we can equip more badges. And as before, with getting the trivia right, we can now pass the giant thwomp. And I'm going to call it for this episode now. I've probably been recording for too long, but I'm going to be cutting out all the battles anyway. So anyway, I'm Methodical Destruction. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you would like to see more. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.